A while back, I mentioned Lucha Underground. I think it was on a Raw recap. And I've watched the first 3 episodes. That's where we're at so far on the El Rey Network. So I'm going to go through my quick thoughts on it. The way that it's set up on a singular soundstage. So they're not traveling anywhere. Which is both a good and bad. Good because it means you have really, really low production costs because you're not traveling. And bad is that after a while you'll have like the same crowd. The same crowd after a while will get very, very used to what they're seeing in the ring, and then you watch the energy level slowly drop down. You can tell it with the way the TNA crowd was before, and then several years later, a guy doing a shooting star press off of a scaffolding is impressive the first time, and the second time. Fourth, fifth time, it's like, yeah, he did that like a year ago. We want something new. When you're constantly cycling in new crowd people, doing something impressive in the ring is going to get that similar, it's going to get a really big pop response. I like that it has a nice, grimy sort of grindhouse feel to it. You can tell it's Robert Rodriguez's network all the way through. I like that. When it comes to character introductions, they do about a minute, minute and a half, like full production scale little vignette. Which is nice. I mean, it gives you a real good depth of the character, gives you a little bit of the history, gives you a little bit of their style. So each character comes out with a decent amount of build-up. The announce team. Matt Striker, Vampiro. I forgot how awesome Matt Striker is at doing this. Great when it comes to selling the moves because he knows what everything is called. I love the occasional comic book reference. Some people absolutely hate that. He's like, oh, he's like the Beyonder from Secret Wars. And he'll give you this little, 10-second snip of comic knowledge, and it's great. It's great. I mean, I like that, because it shows that he watches wrestling, he knows comics, and if you watch Lucha for long enough, you know that the Lucha characters are designed to be larger than life. So they're kind of like superheroes. So having those two sections kind of overlap is great, and it works well. Having Vampiro. Vampiro adds a definite edge to it. I was watching it on YouTube because I don't get El Rey. They pan back to him and say, wow, he looks very frightening. So Vampiro adds a definite edge to it. Striker, clean cut, looks like a guy you could run into in almost any suburb, washing his car on a Sunday afternoon. Vampiro looks more or less like the kind of guy that if you see him washing a car, he probably stole it. Because he's got that really gruff, just tattooed look. Really hardcore look to him. But if you've read anything about him, you know he's a pretty nice guy. So I like that sequence to it. The overarching story of you had a guy who's got money, who has pretty much hired some of the best talent in the world, and is willing to give them like $100,000 if they're really great at it. Okay. So they have like their own authority? But so far out of three episodes, he had the big reveal towards the end. He's got his group led by Big Rick, or Ezekiel Jackson, if you remember him from WWE time in the Core. They had him come out, and of course he did his little spiel, and he's watching his boys in the tag match, and he's smoking a cigar. Again, grimy, rough feel to it. Great. The ring sounds fantastic. When they do a move, there's a pop to it, and a bang just resonates in the area. That sounds fantastic. Now onto the wrestling itself. You get 3 matches in the hour. And it's like, okay. But you get 3 good matches. You get 3 matches that are about, 5 to 15 minutes in length, which is good. That's what you want. You want to have your little vignette for your build-up. You want to have your match, which they're good matches. They're always introducing new people. They're doing a pretty good job when it comes to, if you lose a match, they might go back and be like, Chavo, so you lost to Blue Demon Jr. How would your dad feel about that? How would your Uncle Eddie have felt about that? You lost this match. So they actually do occasionally see a little, before match vignette, maybe a little after match vignette, and it's nice. Johnny Mundo, former John Morrison, and Johnny Nitro. I think Johnny Blaze for a while as well. Great, high-flying, worked a pretty solid lucha style. Prince Puma, Ricochet, again, a guy who's got some phenomenal talent to him. They did a triple threat match, which ended with, I think it was that Peach Rana? Essentially, he was on his back, so it's legs facing this way, dude's face facing this way. And it was like the reverse Hurricane Run. I want this called Peach Rana. So he drove the guy head first backwards. Beautiful move. Crowd popped like crazy for it. It's a sick move, worked well. The spots that they did, they had somebody climb up to the top of one of the internal structures and jump down. Reminded me a lot of Wrestling Society X. Nice feel to it. It did have that bizarre moment where you could tell the two guys who were fighting hit that spot where they were and hold each other. Wait for the dude to make his giant jump. So you could tell that they were in the moment where it's is he going to jump now? What about now? What about now? What about now? What about now? That they just didn't quite have that, fight, look up, dude jumps. They were fight, look, wait, and then have the guy jump. Still a sick spot. But you can tell some of the guys are still trying to get a little more accustomed with each other. So, exciting stuff. I can tell it's not everyone's cup of tea because you do have the kind of grimier setting for the matches, and then a slightly overproduced sort of vignette. But as Robert Rodriguez, you'd expect that combination of grimy, grindhouse sort of feel and a really unique production style.